Back in Argentina, as we said, he lived simply, humbly, but now he'll hold one of the most powerful offices in the world. Unlike his predecessor, Benedict XVI, a man known the world over even before his papacy, Pope Francis was largely mysterious to many before today. That's all over now, though, and many Catholics are rejoicing at the change, as ABC's David Wright reports.
First impressions matter. For popes, every bit as much as for ordinary people. For this pope, tonight was very much a first impression.
Cardinale Bergoglio.
His name unfamiliar even to some of the priests in this crowd.
Someone said Bergoglio, and we needed someone else who was from Argentina to tell us that he was from Argentina.
You thought he might be Italian?
Well, I think his name sounds Italian, sure.
Was he who you were expecting?
Not even close. Not even on page 2.
So different from 8 years ago, when the man who stepped out on that balcony was the one cardinal whose name everyone knew. Tonight, it was a man they didn't expect.
Buonasera.
He had them at hello.
Tonight, nobody knew Bergoglio. No, but the smile on the man's face and the humility on his face was extraordinary.
Really, truly amazing. And the fact that they've chosen a man from the third world country suggests the global influence that the whole church has. I think it's tremendous.
That was the view of Europeans in this crowd. For Latin Americans, this was a moment 500 years in the making. In Mexico City and Lima, Peru, and especially Buenos Aires.
I always said he will be one of the best popes we ever have, and thank God he is from Argentina.
The church has validated one of their own, acknowledging for the first time in 1,000 years that Europe doesn't have a monopoly on the papacy.
As Catholics in Argentina, we're very, very happy. We believe that this is a moment in Argentinian history that is very important for us to have an Argentinian pope.
The election of Pope Francis is a reminder that the center of gravity has really shifted from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere, where all the growth in the Catholic Church is happening.
A first, not just for the New World, but for the missionaries who brought the faith there. He's the first Jesuit pope. The idea of a Jesuit pope was once as unthinkable as an American pope.
Historically, there's been a lot of fear of Jesuits. But that doesn't seem to be a problem anymore.
So this was a victory for Georgetown and Fordham, too.
It's pretty cool because we can't always stress the principles of the Jesuits and St. Ignatius and Ad Honorem Dei Gloria for the greater glory of God. So it's pretty cool to have something that we're educated on and kind of knowledgeable about to have the leader of our Catholic Church.
One more first, his name. A tip of the hat to the humble saint from Assisi, patron of Italy and of the poor. The fact that he chose to be called Francis was a definite crowd pleaser. What does it say about him right away?
I'd say simplicity, purity, honesty, a simple way of life. That the church should be simple, and I think he goes to work. I understand on the buses.
All of it signaling the start of a new chapter for the Catholic Church.
The church has opened to another continent, to another country.
Like winning the World Cup.
Right.
As first impressions go, not bad at all. I'm David Wright for Nightline in Rome.
A great day for Argentina, no doubt about it. Thanks, David, for that. And now for more reaction from the Americas, my co-anchor Cynthia McFadden is at the anchor desk in New York. Cynthia?
Thank you, Terry, and good evening, everyone. Reactions here in the U.S. came from all over, including the White House, where President Obama welcomed Pope Francis, saying in a statement that, quote, alongside millions of Hispanic Americans, those of us in the United States share the joy of this historic day. For more, we turn now to my colleague, Univision co-anchor Maria Salinas. Good evening, Maria.
Hello, how are you? Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you. Well, let's start. The reaction, of course, in Argentina was enormous. You've been talking to colleagues all across South America today. Tell us more.
I have not seen that kind of reaction in Argentina since their football team won in the World Cup. As you know, in Argentina is a very Catholic country. About 76% are Catholic. But more importantly, not just Argentina, but the whole region. Most of the Catholics in the world are in the Latin American region. It's over 40%. And it's a very important area also for the church, because that's also where they're losing a lot of followers. It's no wonder that one of the last things that Benedict XVI said is that the future of the church is in the Latin American region. And that was just a few days before he left his papacy. So it might have been a sign that to the cardinals that is the region or the direction where they needed to look when they had to make that very important decision in the Sistine Chapel.
Of course, it's also an enormous moment for Hispanics in this country. The reaction has been powerful. Tell us a little bit more about that as well.
Definitely. I think this is a Latin American story. It has become the hope of so many. As we know, the Catholic Church in the United States has grown because of immigrants, because of Hispanics. Because they are so Catholic, most of them from Mexico, of course, the reaction in Mexico was also very positive. Just an overall excitement, I think, in most of Latin American countries to have someone that speaks their own language, that understands the problems that Latin America is going through. And certainly now Pope Francisco as we call him, he has confronted the Argentine government on many occasions on social issues because of poverty, and also because of some of these very liberal laws that have been approved in Argentina, such as same-sex marriage. So I think that gives us more or less a glimpse of who he is, what we can expect from him, a very conservative line theologically.
And that simple wooden cross today, a reminder of his commitment to the poor as he wore it on the balcony. Having said all that, how surprised were you personally today when you found out that this was in fact going to be the next pope?
Very surprised. We were very, very surprised. We thought that there was a possibility it might be someone from Latin America, and we had thought of someone from Brazil, even a cardinal from Mexico or from Honduras, but Pope Francis was not even on the short list of possible papal candidates. So it was a surprise, and to many it was a very pleasant surprise.
Thank you so much for your help in our coverage tonight. You've certainly added to our understanding.